Lately, I've noticed something really worrying. So many people I've spoken with are exhausted, both mentally and emotionally. They're drained and they seem to be hanging on by a thread. Perhaps it's this time of year in the lead up to Christmas. It always gets really crazy, but this year in particular, it seems to be really acute. So, today I want to talk about the links between burnout, uncertainty, and your career and what you can do to protect yourself. But before I get into that, I'll just introduce myself. My name's Anna Black. I'm a career counsellor and consultant and the creator of the Define Your Future career change system. I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel so that you can see the videos when I post them. So let's jump into burnout. So, what does burnout even look like? There's so much focus on burnout at the moment. It seems like every event I go to, there are talks about burnout. It's a central theme to what's happening at the moment. And my LinkedIn feed is also teeming with posts about burnout insights and personal experiences. The stats and the stories are confronting. In the WA mining industry, for example, burnout rates are at around 35%. This isn't just people feeling a little bit stressed, this is chronic, ongoing mental exhaustion. It's an issue because chronic stress has serious health consequences, as we know, and it's also making people less effective at work. So it's not even productive either. But this isn't just an issue in this industry, it's across the board. I'm seeing it everywhere and it's coming up in so many of the conversations I'm having with people. But I want to talk a little bit about why this isn't just about workload. It's easy to assume that the cause of burnout is what we've got on our plates, the capacity that we've got versus the amount of things that are on our to-do list. And of course, being overloaded contributes to stress. Yes, it's a factor, but it's not the only factor. And I actually don't think it's the biggest factor. But what I see is a deeper issue of misalignment in our work. Quite often, I'll see that people have a mismatch between their personal values and the values that are playing out in the organization. The way that the behaviors that are reinforced and the behaviors in the culture of the organization might not be aligned. I also see often a big misalignment in people's strengths and the tasks that they really enjoy and the things that they're good at, the things that they energize them, and the work that they're doing. The work that they're doing is not playing to their strengths. And people often get caught in this trap of doing tasks that are aligned with what we call burnout skills, those things that you get really good at, but you don't enjoy, they feel draining and then they become exhausting. And I also see a misalignment between what people enjoy, what they're interested in, and the field they're in. So have a think about it. Can you think of an example of someone who's passionate about what they do and chooses to work really long hours? They might work in the evenings, they might work over the weekends, they might then also find time to do study or volunteer on a not-for-profit board, but they never seem to get burnt out. They seem to still have the energy to do all of these things. I know quite a few people like that. They're not burning out because their work is aligned. All these things that they're doing are aligned with what they enjoy and what they believe is meaningful, and perhaps have this sense of purpose in what they're doing. They can do 12 to 14-hour days consistently and be okay. And on the flip side, can you think of someone who works the standard 35, 40-hour week, but comes home depleted, exhausted every day because perhaps their boss is a bully, that culture, that behavior in the workplace is stressful and damaging, or their work is really tedious and soul destroying and feels pointless, or they're working in a field that conflicts with their values. Perhaps they're working in oil and gas and that bothers them because of the climate crisis. And perhaps you identify with this, like maybe this is something that's really resonating for you. You might find yourself in this situation. I also want to talk about how uncertainty makes burnout worse. So uncertainty is a big contributor to burnout. If you think about it, it's human nature to want to have some control in our lives. And as I heard Dr. Emily Musgrove sharing at a recent conference, when things are uncertain, we can go into one of two modes. We either go into denial and we ignore the fact that, there's all this stuff going on that is outside of our control, or we get obsessive about trying to control it. We really try to over control and become very controlling. Trying to make sense of things and managing our own state when things are uncertain is a huge drain on our energy. If you're in a constant state of uncertainty, it's exhausting. There's so much uncertainty in the world now, and I don't want to go into it in detail, but obviously global geopolitical volatility, the AI disruption that is, progressing at a rapid rate and causing lots of uncertainty in the world of work. Lots of changes to roles, redundancies happening left, right, and centre. And even on a personal level, for many people, the current work situation is unstable. They might feel like they're on shaky ground because of all the changes in organisations. And many organisations are just in this constant state of review and restructure, and it never seems to end. So all of these things can make our work lives really challenging. And as I said, that uncertainty can be exhausting and can put us at risk of burnout. But what I want you to take from this, I know this all sounds really doom and gloom, but you can control parts of it. I want you to be mindful about what is within your control and what you can actively do, because if you can find areas that you can do something about, it will give you a sense of control over your life and make you feel better and really protect you against that risk of burnout. So you can be mindful about what's causing you stress and how serious it is. Just check in with yourself. What level of burnout are you maybe sitting at? And Nick Petrie has done some fantastic research around the different levels of burnout and what they look like and what the risk factors are and what some protective factors are as well. I'd encourage you to dig into that and just be self-aware about where do you actually sit on the scale? Like what level, what state are you in? You can build protection into your days, as in activities that enable you to disconnect from work and recharge and take some time out. We need that. We need peace. We need to be able to switch our brains off. We need to go for a walk in nature or do an activity that is really absorbing so that we're not constantly connected and constantly worrying, and especially about those things that are uncertain and that we can't control. Nick Petrie actually calls that the opposite world, which I love. An activity that is the opposite to your work. It's non-competitive. It's something that's mindful. It could be singing or dancing or baking or reading, something light, obviously. Lots of different things you can think about. So what can you do? What's your opposite world where you can give yourself a mental break and protect yourself from the stress? You can also understand your own priorities and values in your career, and if need be, make a change. That could be job crafting your current role. So looking at how you can improve it, how you can shift it to better align with your preferences, your priorities, and your values. Or perhaps make a move, make a career change or move into another role. And if that's something that is of interest to you, please do feel free to reach out to me, as that's what I can help with. So I do hope you've got value from this video, and there's some nuggets of wisdom in there that are helpful for you. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel so you see my new videos when they come out. And also I'll link my career match quiz to this video as well. That's a really great way of getting an assessment of how well your current career matches your priorities, your values. How good a fit is it really? And also we'll give you some advice on what to do if it isn't. Thanks for joining me for this video. I look forward to seeing you next time.